All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Daily High. I will be your only host on Vase. Matt McGregor is unfortunately still recovering from a broken nose from sparring. You will see him and his face mask probably tomorrow, maybe the day after, but we're going to give him time to rest. Let me know if the audio video is good. It's hard to keep an eye on everything when you're doing a solo stream. And we will jump right into the charts. This will be a very quick stream. As you can see, I'm kind of dressed down. I am here in the tropics. I will be starting to do the health streams, probably if not today, then tomorrow for sure. Today is my last day of food and water before the 7 day dry fast begins. And I will probably try to do a video every day and keep you guys up to speed on how the dry fast is going. And also each day there'll be a slightly different topic on a health and wellness topics so you guys can see what I've done in the last 6 months. I hate calling it health and wellness, longevity and fitness. That's the right way to call it. Okay, let's go right into the charts here. Looks like everything is good. We're going to begin with the S&P 500. I am eyeing this MRI warning candle, which tells me that the markets are ready to take a little bit of a break. This arrow is probably a little too ambitious. Let's lower it a smidge. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to delete this arrow. It's not really necessary. We are looking at an MRI uh, top coming up, next candle. But right now, we are dealing in a multi-month consolidation. The first week of the year is looking like it's nice and bullish. Let's see how high we can get this. If the S&P can break 7,100 on the MRI top candle, I would expect a pullback. How big of a pullback? You know what? Let me delete these breakout lines. How big of a pullback? Well, you know what? I'm going to lower this green line. And yeah, so you have two options for the pullback. Either this moving average right here at 63 or all the way down to 6. But we can also just have a 1 to 4 candle correction, which could be very, very mild. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go to the daily chart. Oh, sorry, this is the monthly chart. Shit, that's not even the weekly chart. My bad. This is a monthly warning candle. So next month is going to be the big candle. So instead of 7,100, I'm going to be looking for more, maybe 72, 73. Let's now go to the weekly chart. Isn't it also on a warning candle? Oh, no, we had a break in the action. The weekly chart gave us a break in the action. Otherwise, we would have been on candle number 7 and also very close to an MRI top. This is great, great news. This means that if next week we get a green star candle, the weekly, uh, and the monthly will align and potentially top together. So this is great. I would love to see a bullish market for the next, 2 months, giving us an MRI top on a weekly and monthly as a blow off top. That would be absolutely perfect. Our RSI divergence on the S&P. Why is it all the way up there? I don't see divergence, guys. I don't see it. I know it's going down, but that's not divergence to me. And the reason why it's not divergence to me is because if the S&P goes up for the next 2 months, the RSI will go back there. So to me, in order to call it divergence, right. In order to call it divergence, I need a top in the market, but we don't have a top in the market yet. So you can't use the RSI to assume there's going to be a top in the market. You need the top in the market first, the prices to start to crash. and then judge divergence in order to figure out how bad the crash is going to be. But you cannot use the fact that the RSI is currently lower, assuming that there will be a higher top with a lower RSI. That's not how RSI divergence works. And the same thing goes for MACD. In fact, the MACD is actually indicating a drop in the market more so than the RSI. And let's go to the daily chart. Markets are already open. And this is a new all-time high with a daily green star candle. That's beautiful. A little bit of a mismatch with extension C ending. And if this is extension C, we already had extension B and we already had extension A. But we had a new MRI top. So we have more A, B, and C's. Let's check. Let's check the situation here. Let's go to all. And let's wait. There they are. Yeah. See, there is another extension A that can end tomorrow. There is another extension B that could end in a couple of days, and there is another extension C that I have no idea when it's going to end because I don't see its numbers because it's being blocked by this extension C. So this extension C means absolutely nothing. This extension C is not the end of the bull run because you have more extensions already printing. So we will put all the emphasis on the green star candle on the daily S&P and anticipate higher S&P prices as the stock market goes to new all-time highs. As has been predicted by yours truly for the last 10 years on YouTube, that the S&P will continue to make new all-time highs without any major crash. So if your favorite gloom and doomer had been calling for a 1929 style crash in the last 15 years, and you're still listening to that boomer gloom and doomer, please stop. Please stop. It will save you so much money. I have been bullish on the stock market since my first day on YouTube 10 years ago, and I remain bullish on the stock market. When I started doing YouTube streams, it was in 2015. I already had this channel. Before I started doing the streams, the channel was a little bit different. The channel was a little bit narrower. The channel looked something like this when I started. Channel looked like this. Channel looked something like this. I had to update the channel because of the silly COVID crash. But I continue to be bullish, and I do not expect a 1929 style market crash until we break the top of the channel. We need to break the top of the channel with a significant upswing, something similar to this here in the .com, or something similar to this in 1929, and only then will we see a 50% correction. Then and only then. And I've been saying it for a decade. Okay, let's move on. This is the futures chart, looks the same. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. Monthly chart, not very interesting at the moment. Weekly chart. Really surprised by the weakness this morning. We do still have a green star candle. Super surprised by this weakness. We're looking at a reversal candle. It's definitely internal to Bitcoin. I have not been paying attention to the knots versus core debate. I know Bitcoin University continues to make anti-core videos. So I guess the push for a fork is still there. I gotta reach out to Jimmy Song so we can do a few more streams so I can, get my position officially on the record. I'll get my position officially on the record when I do a presentation in Plan B. Uh, but in El Salvador, I'm doing a presentation on that topic. It might be my last presentation about Bitcoin ever. So hope you're there for that. Daily chart, we're having a rough day. I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised we're having a rough day. Really wanted to see an MRI top print. We're on the 7 candle. I still think we can recover. But if the pullback is already here, then I'm still bullish here for something like this. But like I said, I'm surprised we're down this morning. The 10 a.m. reversal is coming. We got 5 more minutes. And maybe the 10 a.m. reversal will take care of us. Or maybe it already started. Maybe it already started. If I was, see, this is the tricky part because the S&P on a 5-minute scale could be giving us an MRI, could be giving us a reversal to the downside, but I would be bullish here on Bitcoin. I would be bullish. I would be taking a stab. We're already in the 10 a.m. reversal window. It's 9:55. It's 9:55. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. We've been rallying since the open. 10 a.m. reversal could be to the downside, actually, ironically. But give me another break. This is a head fake, but I don't really look at the MRI on low time frames. I'm kind of bullish here. I don't like this low, so I hate seeing it go from low to high. But I think the low is in. I really think the low for the day is in, especially with a bullish S&P. Talk about that soon. No reason to talk about that. All right, guys. I said this was going to be a quick show. I'm going to keep it as a quick show. Tone, that moving average cross looks like an April of 25. You mean April of 2025? Let me take a look. You're talking about on a daily chart? April 25. Well, it doesn't look exactly like that. We had a massive rally through the following moving average. It looks a little bit like that. Let's see if we get... I would love to see a pullback first. It'd be awesome if that's the case. If NOTS is implemented, Bitcoin's done. If NOTS wins, I'm probably selling every Satoshi I have. If NOTS wins, Bitcoin dies. That's the problem. But you don't understand why. But if NOTS wins, Bitcoin dies. Again, you have to watch my personal channel to understand the NOTS versus core situation. You see, you are scared that there's going to be illicit material in the blockchain making the Bitcoin transaction, making Bitcoin illegal. Brandon, Bitcoin's been illegal since the first transaction until the until the transaction a millisecond ago. Every Bitcoin transaction is illegal. You know what makes Bitcoin possible? The fact that it's decentralized and the fact that government can't stop it. If NOTs is implemented, then we are censoring the Bitcoin blockchain, which means Bitcoin is not censorship resistant protocol and Bitcoin dies. Bitcoin's useless. So no one likes illicit material inside Bitcoin. But if people that are unhappy with how Bitcoin works get to implement, what they want and don't want into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin is not decentralized anymore and there's no use for it. So you may not like it, I may not like it, but then there's also reality. But there is a lot more detail in what I just described. If the NOT fork succeeds, Bitcoin is not decentralized anymore. I mean, it doesn't mean Bitcoin's dead necessarily. It's just not decentralized. I mean, people like yourself will be happy that there will be a policeman controlling what is inside Bitcoin and what isn't. And you may like that from a moral perspective. But from a decentralized protocol perspective, it is no longer a decentralized protocol. Again, I don't want to turn it into a NOTs debate, but you're saying Bitcoin is not decentralized, Core controls it. Okay, but who's Core? Is there one person in Core? Right? Core is 100 people. How many people will control NOTs? I can only think of one. Should think about it. Be careful what you wish for. I'm not saying Core is great. Shit, I don't even like Core. But it is what it is. All right, guys. Oh yeah, there'll definitely be a stake involved. Well, that's because Bitcoin is not a currency, brother. It's a decentralized protocol. And I don't like the things that Bitcoin is used for either, but that's the trade-off. Like, if you're not happy with Bitcoin being used for illicit things, then Bitcoin is just not for you. Again, we don't control what goes in and out of Bitcoin. The evil things that could be in Bitcoin is a moral society problem. It shouldn't be a coding protocol problem. I literally have podcasts with Jimmy and Giacomo on this subject. You should watch my personal channel. Jimmy and I literally did a 2-hour podcast with Giacomo about this topic. Oh, there goes that 10 a.m. reversal. It's to the downside, unfortunately. But the 10 a.m. reversal is definitely there. If I was long, my stop loss is definitely getting hit. It's already been hit. The silver short will be when I think the silver has topped. Probably, I might wait till next month till I get the MRI buy on the ratio. Let me see. This is silver, right? Extension B. Silver is down today. I'm not going to mess with it today. I don't have a price target for silver. I'm just going to try to time it. Yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, guys, if you go to my YouTube channel and you go to playlists, there should be a knots playlist somewhere. There it is. Right? And you can watch me talk here. Knots versus. There it is. Right. We're going to do a few more episodes. I got to reach out to Jimmy. All right, guys. Would I consider shorting silver ETF? Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, 10 a.m. reversal right there. I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish. I think this will be a good day. How's the S&P going? See, the S&P is doing just fine. Oh, wait. Oh, that's the futures. The futures are delayed. Hold on. S&P 5 minutes. See, the S&P should reverse to the upside here. We have 10 a.m. There's the low at 10 a.m. Let's go to the 1 minute candle. When was the low? 10:03. The low comes in at 10:03. And the S&P is rallying. 10 a.m. reversal in the S&P to the upside. So Bitcoin should be okay. Bitcoin should go up. I'm still bullish here. My trade might have been screwed up, but I'm still bullish here. Guys, I understand the position of the people in knots. It's an emotional position. It is not a technological one. Again, this is not a defense of core. I don't like core. But if you want to lose all your money by trying to fork with knots, go for it. Roger Ver did by trying to fork Bitcoin. What percent possibility that we've put in the low? I think we put in the low, guys. I'm going to be optimistic here. I'm going to say 60% chance the low is in. I think this is going to be a bullish year. Well, Brandon, I mean, you're not emotional. You don't care if Bitcoin goes to $1 million or zero. I care if Bitcoin goes to $1 million or zero. I've invested 10 years of my life into Bitcoin, and I would much prefer it to go to $1 million and not zero. And because I would prefer it to go to $1 million and not zero, there's no way I'm running a knots node. because that's the way faster way for it to go to zero. Just keep watching our knots versus core discussion. It'll all be clear eventually. I got to do more podcasts. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna get going, and see you all. Well, no, I'm not emotionally invested in it going to $1 million. I am generally invested in Bitcoin's success. And the only way Bitcoin is going to succeed is if the price keeps going up, right? Like, I'm not trying to help Bitcoin get to zero, which is why I'm not running a knots node. Bye, guys.